yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 317.
You got it.
Oh, yeah. It's your boy Gabe Patillo, barely, with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. And listen, right off the bat, I might not be here this whole time.
Uh-oh. Let's try, sir.
I am, yeah, exactly. I am in the back of a tour bus. This is a first in 6 years of doing this podcast. I have never podcasted while driving down the road. And I'm somewhere in Alabama in the back of the bus. Everybody else is asleep, except the driver, of course, thank God. And we tried this once already this morning. Mm-hmm. And we didn't even get to the oh, yes, y'all.
Yeah, man.
So
it started off promising.
It did. I was like, oh, snap, this is going to work. And then it quickly fell apart, like real quick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The music sounded great.
So we are on a 4-way conference call on the phones.
Yes.
And because you guys are worth it, let's just get that out the way.
Amen.
Tip top. So I'm already talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
You guys, we are on the radio tour for Toby's album coming out this Friday called The Elements. And so we've been going around. We started in Dallas and hit the radio stations up there really early.
Nice.
I think there was like KLTY or something like that.
Yep.
And I got to see Chris McCracken for like 2 seconds.
Yep.
It was really nice. Chris, I have to say, I don't know if I said thank you enough, Chris, because Chris came out of his way to see me for like, what, 30 minutes?
Yeah, maybe.
Like was our hang maybe 30 minutes?
Yeah.
And
what a guy.
But it was like, for me, it was really worth it. So Chris, thank you so much for
it was
coming
great
out there. And then that night we went to Top Golf, and there was a bunch of winners that came out, and Toby played them 5 or 6 songs off the album that nobody had heard yet. Mm-hmm. And then we go out and play Top Golf. And so we did the same thing in Houston last night with KSBJ, and then we were headed to Atlanta for the Fish, and then we go to Nashville, and there's 3 radio stations represented in Nashville. So they'll come out there tomorrow on Friday, day of hosting for most of you. And then we go back home. So it's been a whirlwind, man. And,
yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, it's been exhausting, but it's been good. You know, Ed was in radio for a long time, so he understands, like, just talking with radio people all day and then going to then Top Golf and then talking with fans at night. You kind of hit the bed at the end of the day like, oh, yeah, we did that.
Yeah,
man.
That was a day.
Well, because you feel like you have to be on all day, don't you?
Yeah.
All day, baby.
Yep.
You got to keep that switch on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been playing any. Oh my gosh, I actually have been playing something. Yesterday, I forgot I brought the Nintendo, obviously, but I also brought the dock. And so what I did was, right before I left, I picked up Mario Aces because I love tennis games.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it at the Red Box, and I beat that junk yesterday.
Nice.
Hey, there you go.
I had started it at home and then brought it on the road and returned the Red Box last night. So that'll actually be coming to the YouTube channel next week. I was trying to dip my toe back in the recording
look at
space.
you. That's awesome.
There we go.
So
very nice.
There is a story mode. You know, Mario saves the planet or whatever the case. All through tennis, and it's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, it was fun that it had a story mode, and I don't have any idea how any of the rest of the game is. I just played the story mode and then took it back to the Red Box.
There you go.
So how many games is that? You've already beaten your New Year's resolution, wasn't it?
Yeah, I want to say I've got to be at like 9 or 10.
Yeah,
I think my
close.
resolution was 7. And after, I think Spider-Man was probably, 8 or 9, and then this one yesterday. So
That's great.
I got a credits picture. I just didn't have time to post it.
Yeah.
So I'll throw it
Very
up
nice.
there maybe later today. So yeah, man. Eduardo,
Yes, sir.
what do you got going on?
Well, Sarah is still out of town. She gets back on Sunday. So,
Oh, praise the Lord.
There you go.
yes. So, looking forward to that, of course. And besides that, it's just been work in the morning and then video games all day. And
Love it. As it's supposed to be.
exactly. I think last week we joked about me never leaving the house.
Yeah.
And yesterday, as I walked out to get to the mail,
you turned to ash?
I know, right? I saw the car. I saw the car and genuinely said, I don't remember the last time I drove that thing.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
I like it.
But you've been alone for a while when the only conversation you have is with the cat. And
Yep.
and so this
Hey, cats
morning
don't give a crap.
they don't give a crap. And
That's
actually
right.
this morning I said out loud, well, that's what you get for pooping on the floor. And then
Did you say that to you? Was that
No,
expressly
I
to
said
you,
it-
or was it for
I
mine?
said it to the cat, and then I realized, well, that's something that I said out loud that someone just heard.
Yep. Yep. That's
That's
amazing.
amazing.
And speaking of saying things out loud that someone just heard, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey like a beast.
Loving it?
Yes. How is it?
I am really enjoying it.
Good.
Are you serious?
That's
I'm
awesome.
having a lot of fun. They've made a really cool tweak to the game that the first thing you do when you choose the dimensions of the screen, and then it's like, hey, do you want to play it standard or explorer? It was meant to be played explorer, and I was like,
Huh.
then let's go explorer. And so what they do is now when you get like I need you to go find this guy and deliver this thing. Before on Assassin's Creed, you put the little yellow diamond on the map, and that's where you go.
Right.
But now, if you choose Explorer mode, they give you hints, and it's like it's
Oh.
west of this part, just south of the water.
Oh,
so you kind
wow.
of have to like look around for it.
Really?
It's really cool. I really like that.
Oh, man, I'm going to be
So
so
it's not
lost
like
in
you're
this
just
game.
wandering, though?
It sort of does, but I like that just because there's so much to explore. Anyhow, I wander around regardless. And then after a little bit,
Wow.
when you get close enough, it'll put the little diamond there. But it's kind of a
Oh,
cool
so
little-
okay, so it will dial you in. It's not like
Yes.
It's
Oh, that's good.
Hotter,
Yeah, right.
colder,
yes.
colder. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been, and they've made a couple other little tweaks to it that really, they're things that I never would have thought they should tweak this. It'll make it better, but they tweaked it and made it better, and it's so much better. So it's
That is awesome.
I'm kind of really encouraged because that was one of the things when you saw the trailer for this, you were like, meh, because it looked a lot like Origins. And
Yes.
that's kind of what I was worried about too. I'm like, man, it looks like the exact same mechanics as Origins, and what's going to happen here. But I am thrilled that you're loving it. That's awesome.
yeah, and I'm
I'm
playing,
enjoying that. I'm enjoying that 300 kick that everybody's been doing
Yeah.
with people off
Right.
the We Are Sparta kick.
Yes,
That thing is. I've just
Yeah, that
loved
thing's
watching
awesome.
the gifs of everybody kicking people off cliffs and
right.
stuff.
Doing that old Spartan kick.
Yeah, bring the memes. Bring on the
love it.
memes. We'll see a lot of that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Definitely. And it's just been really nice. I've been taking my time. I've played, I think, like 17 hours, and I'm only at level 12, and
Oh,
I'm
wow.
just doing side missions before I do main missions, and just wandering around and exploring, and just having a really good time with it. And I was streaming yesterday, and the windows were all down just because it's been nice weather. And
Finally.
just as I was
A bird
talking
flew
out
into your
loud-
mouth.
What's that? What was that?
Bird flew in your
I
mouth.
said a bird flew into your mouth.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. That'd be a fun little Buster
I'd pay
moment.
good, but I'd give you a lot of bits for that.
Yep.
We had the windows open, and just at the perfect moment, the mailman walked by our very front window that's right where the living room is, where I'm at, is right next to the walkway to the door. And just as he was crossing in front of that open window, I said out loud, I need to stop for a minute and plan how to murder these people.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
He literally stopped and froze and looked around and then just kind of went on his way.
Oh, that's amazing. And then the SWAT team came 5 minutes later.
Yeah, he doesn't live by the if you see something, say something.
Maybe there's not going to be a SWAT team, but there is going to be a very strange car that's always at this one part of the street, and then the next week it'll just be on a different side of the street. But
That's
the same
exactly
car.
right. Yep.
Just keeping an eye on you.
With
So
just
if I get
binocular
swatted-
glare.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Ed's about
You
to
might
get
want to watch
swatted.
yourself. This is the only case where someone swats themselves.
But yeah, it's been fun. Still playing out. I'm not really playing Forza. I'm just kind of. They have those streams that people are doing. You get bonus influence points if you stream on Mixer Forza, and you get bonus points if you watch on Mixer. And so people have put up just 24-hour streams, and it's usually just their car sitting there, but they're streaming for 24 hours straight. And I've had a tab open to that stream since the game came out.
Wow.
No way.
I'll go in like twice a day and be like, oh, I've got 12 wheel spins. Yay! And then I'll spin the wheel and then go play some more Assassin's Creed. So,
Nice.
That's hilarious.
yeah, it's been fun. I really, before Assassin's Creed came out, I was really enjoying my time with Forza, though. I was really, really enjoying that, having a good time with that. And then, of course, the new Overwatch skins and Halloween event dropped this week. So hopped in there and got to play a little bit with the guys and mess around. But yeah, it's just been a gaming week for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good deal, man.
That's so
Tim
great.
Router,
Yeah, brother.
what's going on with you?
Well, first
Before I
off,
cut out.
no. Thank you guys for delaying the show. We normally don't record on a Thursday morning, and I appreciate you guys just kind of doing it. You didn't have to, because I was Lauren and I went down to Barnsley Resort, which is right outside of Atlanta, and it's like this little. It's like a golf course resort, but they have a spa. You can go horseback riding, you can go clay shooting, you can go hunting, you can do all this fun stuff, and it's kind of like an all-in-one wedding destination too. We come to find out as well. But we've gone there like 3 other times, and it's just a nice little quiet place for us to go and just kind of decompress for a little bit. And because we're celebrating today officially is our 20th wedding anniversary. So it's
Happy anniversary.
Congrats to
yeah,
you
man,
guys.
it's really
Yes.
cool. It's a great little milestone.
20 years, baby.
Yeah, man. So I'm super excited,
20.
and yesterday was her birthday. I in October I always get hit with the 1-2 punch because Lauren's birthday is on the 10th and our anniversary is on the 11th, and so I always get the 1-2 punch with what are we doing? Like, what's happening? What's going on? So, but we had decided because Piper's topic of the week is Hawaii, because we are leaving for Hawaii on Saturday, partly to celebrate our 20th anniversary with Piper, partly because it's her fall break this next week, and partly because we had enough Disney vacation points, and so we're just basically staying there for nothing, and so all we had to do was get flights, and so that's what we're
That's
what we're
amazing.
doing.
That's awesome.
It's going to be great. We the Alani Resort, I've said it before, is on I think the west shore of Oahu. So we fly in to Honolulu, and then I'm renting a car. I actually just did that last night because I think it's just going to be more fun. I'd love to just go and explore the island a little bit. And I know Disney has their little all-included like excursions that you can do, but at the same time, it's like we also have to gauge what Piper wants to do, because we might. She might be scared of one thing or might not want to do one thing. And so at least it gives us more options. One of the things on my bucket list is definitely driving up to the North Shore of Oahu, big surfing spot there. Maybe there's a swell, maybe there's not, but I would just love to see Pipeline in all of its glory and see some surfers out there ripping it up, which would be really cool. Because I always used to watch like surf competitions and that kind of stuff from Pipeline, and it's just kind of a fun little thing. But yeah, we're really looking forward to it. But it's funny, Lauren and I were really looking forward to just going to to Barnsley Resort just because we wanted to do absolutely nothing, and that is exactly what we did. We
Good.
There's a section of the resort that's like, it's kind of like an inn, and they really did position themselves as more of like an all-in-one wedding event because it's beautiful grounds. They have like acres and acres of land. It used to be a plantation in the 1840s, and there's like ruins of the old house and everything. It's really cool.
Is it haunted?
It's got a great vibe. I think so, actually. I've never seen
Not
anything,
really. I
but
wouldn't do it,
in
still.
talking to the staff, especially around Halloween, they've said that there's been some weirdness going around, but I've never seen it, and this is the fourth time that we've been there. But yeah, we basically, and it's a good thing that we didn't go during the weekend because I think the weekend is usually that's all weddings and there's a lot of people there, and we got there on Sunday, and like it was pretty crowded. We're like, oh man, hopefully this crowd weeds out a little bit because there was kids everywhere and it was just crowded. Like we couldn't even find a parking spot near our cottage, and we're like, oh wow, okay, this is weird. And so when Monday came around, everything thinned out and it got super quiet. And we ended up bringing our Apple TV, getting room service in the room, and basically just chilled out for about 2.5 days. And it was absolutely
Dude, that's
wonderful.
awesome.
Yeah, we
Good
had
for you guys.
It was like a staycation, but not really. And it was awesome. And we did do we had a couples massage because they have a spa there. We did a 2-mile hike around. They have little trails in the woods back there, and there's a golf course there if you wanted to play golf. But obviously, I didn't. But so we did a few things just to be active and out and about. But other than that, man, I mean, we watched a ton of movies and just really enjoyed each other and had a great time and just ate room service in and it was a lot of fun. So we got back yesterday on Lauren's birthday, and of course when we're gone, we Piper was with Lauren's parents, and as soon as we basically get into the cottage, we get a call, and Piper has a fever, and we're like, oh, here we go. That's exactly what's going to happen here. So
that attention fever.
Yeah, exactly. But she spiked, and she must have called us like 5 times that on Sunday, and she was upset. I mean, this is our first time really away from her. Now that she's older, like she probably gets it a little bit more. So it wasn't a terrible goodbye. I mean, there was she just got really mopey, and then everything was fine. But then Lauren's mom called and says, "Hey, she's got like 101 fever," and we're like, "Oh, that's the worst." So we were thinking on Mondays, like, you know what, we may just go home. It's only 3 hours away, and we may just drive back. And then Monday morning she calls, and she was all excited. She was like, "Mommy, Daddy, I slept all by myself without you guys," and she was still running a fever. And so her mom had to take her to our pediatrician because her throat was hurting her, and normally that's just strep throat right then and there. And so they took her in. She didn't have strep throat. She just had some sort of a virus, and by Tuesday she was fine. So it was good. So
good.
But it's so
you didn't have to go back home.
It's so typical though. Like you go away, and the first thing that happens is like she gets sick, and we're like, "Yep, that sounds about right." But it all worked out beautifully, and we just FaceTime with her every day. And she didn't go to school on Monday and Tuesday, but she did on Wednesday, and so we drove back in time to pick her up from school yesterday, and then last night we celebrated Lauren's birthday over at her parents' house. And yeah, man, and now it's like we turn around, and on Saturday we leave for Hawaii. We come back on Friday, but really we leave Friday night, and so we get here back into Nashville on Saturday morning. So that'll be an interesting flight, as we've already discussed. So we'll see how that goes. But unfortunately, next week I will not be on the podcast, but I know my brothers will hold it down. But I appreciate you guys moving your schedules for me this week, because I know, like, I wouldn't have wanted to be away from everybody for 2 weeks. But I know
that's right.
I know. I certainly appreciate it doing it this Thursday morning, which we rarely do. On the gaming front, man, after our podcast recording last week, me and Ed did some Overwatch till 2 a.m. with Mr. Novacell, and it was just so much fun. And I know. I'm still loving that game, but I did get back into Tomb Raider. I want to try and finish it.
Oh, good.
And Ed, I am kind of with you. It's definitely not their best one. Like, I feel like there's a few little spots where it's a little buggy, I think, still, even after, and I just had an update, but sometimes it's just frustrating because, some of the challenge tombs, you're like, oh, where's this and where's this, but that's how Tomb Raider is, and I'm used to it with the other two Tomb Raiders, but this one, I think I'm just anxious because I picked up, or Assassin's Creed came in the mail on release day, and I'm like, it's just sitting there staring at me, and I'm like, oh, I really want to play this, but I really just want to finish Tomb Raider and get that done. So I think that's the plan. Is I'm gonna once I come back from Hawaii, I'll try and finish up Tomb Raider, and then I'm probably just gonna be swimming in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and go from there. But I'm super excited for that game, and I'm thrilled that you love it because I know you had some serious reservations, and when the trailer came out at E3, like I had pretty much just finished it, Origins at the time, because I didn't play Origins right when it came out. I was delayed a good 6 to 7 months because I was playing other stuff, and so it was kind of still fresh for me. And then I look at some of that gameplay on the trailer, I'm like, man, this is exactly like Origins. So I had the same reservations of, well, is this just going to be Origins with a different map and that's it? But I'm thrilled that they've really taken their time on it. So I've talked way too much. Mr. McCracken, over to you, sir.
Well, this will be short. Because, like I was kind of saying when we first thought we were recording and going.
You're right, right?
That's right. At first I was like, we already went to Chris.
Yeah, pretty much the only thing that I did this week is
This gets to be a first time for me.
Yeah. I got to go meet up with Mr. Gabe, like you said, which has easily been the highlight of my week so far. Because Stacy as well, she's gone. She's been gone about a week, and I think she's going to be gone another week and a half or something like that. So I'm like somewhere in the middle of her first trip being out. So when I come home, it's just me and Ellie just chilling out, hanging out. I've been watching a lot of football, been playing a lot of games. But outside of that, the actual adulting part, it's so crazy because when you have someone who just like lives with you all the time, be it a roommate or family member or a significant other of some sorts, like it's just that's the norm. And then when they go away, that's when you start to really realize, like, man, things are way different when there's more than just me. Like she'll be gone. I think this entire trip, this stint of it is 2.5 weeks roughly, something like that. And I bet I will not take the garbage to the curb, like to get picked up. I probably won't even do it once. Because like I just don't throw anything away. Like everything's a dish. Everything I'm like, well, I've used this spoon and bowl 5 times, but hey, just rinse it and use it again. I mean, and then I'm just not.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like
That's funny.
I'll maybe do laundry one time because I'll be like, all right, I can make this last. I don't change it in toilet paper rolls. Right. It's crazy.
That's exactly. Sarah this week was like, what's different without me there? And I was like, it's quieter and I'm still on the same toilet paper roll and it's almost been a month.
That's amazing.
So like when I get home, I mean, Stacy, because she's just like the best ever. And even though I tell her every time, I'm like, look, you don't need to do this. She still does it anyways. So she fills the refrigerator and the fridge with all these pre-made meals. So I'm not having.
Are you serious?
I'm not having to go shopping. I'm not. I mean, unless like there's something like, oh, I'm out of ibuprofen or I need a Band-Aid, and for some reason we don't have them. I mean, there's no reason for me to need to go to the store. It's all just there. And so I open the freezer. I'm like, let's do the red top one, and I open it up and I put it in the microwave and I just go. So I don't have to go anywhere or do anything. So I've just been watching a lot of football. Been hanging out and playing with Ellie a bunch, and then I've been playing games. And on the gaming front, I've played Forza Horizon 4. I too got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so I've got that. And then the other day, or actually yesterday, the Halloween event dropped for Overwatch. So I'll start with Forza Horizon 4. So I had never played a Forza game. The first one that I played was Horizon 2, and it was recently because it was part of Games with Gold or Game Pass or one of those things or something, and they gave it to you for, if you're one of those subscriptions. And I jumped in, and I had a lot of fun. I didn't play a ton, but, I probably put in, I don't know, 3-4 hours, maybe a little bit more overall. So when Horizon 4 came out, I just wasn't sure. I was like, is it just going to be an iteration? Like, is it basically the same thing each time? It seems like it's the same thing. There's this Horizon event, and then you just do all the stuff around the Horizon event. But what I will say is that, and maybe this is how you can tell for sure, if you didn't already know, when you're getting old. Because it's like, man, if something's different or something like I don't get it right away, I'm just like, I just don't get this. I don't understand. What's going on here? So I wasn't quite sure. I mean, I know where the races are because they're pretty obvious on the map. But like, I feel like I was 2 hours in and I'm still on the same 2 cars that they kind of, there's usually these parts that'll come up where they're like, oh, you need to do these style races now, but you don't have a car. So pick from one of these 3 and they give you a car. I was still on the first 2 of the cars that they just kind of gift you. And I was like, man, I feel like in Horizon 2, by this point, I was already able to buy like 5, 6 different cars and do kind of whatever I wanted. And I feel like on this one, the opening up to where I could do what I wanted took longer to happen. And I don't know if that's because I was playing it different. There may have been something obvious that I was missing. That's totally possible. But early on, because I was like, man, I don't want these starter cars. I want to go buy the cool stuff that I see all these other people driving around. So I was a little annoyed. I was like, well, when am I finally going to get to this? And then they have these seasons. So you build up XP from winning races and doing various things. And once your XP gets to a certain point, it starts a new season. So I think you start in the summer, and then it goes to autumn, and then it goes to winter, and then spring. And, I'm assuming it's just going to keep cycling around. So I had to get all the way till autumn before I feel like it opened up to where it's like, okay, now it's unlocked to where I can just buy whatever car I want and all these different things. And it really didn't take me overall a long time to get there, but it just felt like it took longer than with Horizon 2. So I was just a little annoyed with that. But now that I'm a little ways through it, and I feel like more of it's opened up to where I can just do the things I want. Because one thing I don't really like, I don't mind the cross-country races, but I don't like the stuff where you have to use like rally cars. Like the Imprezas and those kinds of things, like where it's just a car but you're on dirt. I don't really care for those because a lot of those, at least the ones I've run into so far, my least favorite races to do in the game are ones where you have to do like 3 laps and you have to win within 3 laps. I like the ones where
I'm the same
you start at point A and then it ends at point B and you just got to get to point B before the rest of them. It's just one leg.
Yes.
I really enjoy those. And I feel like every rally race that I did was a lap one. So I'm like, man, I don't want to do these anymore, but I'm kind of, at that point in time, I felt like I was forced to do them because I didn't have many options yet because other stuff hadn't unlocked. Now that I have everything or a lot of things unlocked, I can kind of just go and do whatever I want. I've not dabbled at all with the multiplayer stuff. I really want to do that because the way that Ed talked about it makes it sound like it's totally fun, and I want to give that a shot.
Yeah.
And I am going to keep dabbling with it, but then Assassin's Creed came out, and I was like, okay, I want to spend a little bit of time with that. And it's kind of a bit of the same thing of the whole finding out you're old kind of thing, because I jumped in and I'm like, man, okay, I know I need to go talk to this guy at the vineyard. I know I need to go find this girl. And then after that, I'm like, and I'm not doing the Explore mode because I had the exact opposite reaction as Ed. When he came up and said, the way we had was, you should play it this way, or we encourage you to play it this way because this is how we built it. And I'm like, nah, man, I don't want to be trying to figure things out. Tell me what I need to do and I'll go do it. I mean, I don't like having to figure out in context clues and I should go here or whatever. No. Just give me the point and I'll go to the point. I can figure out what to do, but I don't want to. I ain't got time for that because the map looks huge. The map looks completely massive, and I already I went ahead and bought the game knowing that Red Dead, which is the next game I'm beginning, comes out at the end of October. I was like, maybe I can finish this game in a month. I don't think I can finish this game in a month. And that map is massive, so I'm very happy that I did not choose the let me just figure it out, because then I'm for sure there's no way I'd get a quarter of the way through this game. Because when Red Dead hits, if it's as good as people are expecting to be, and if I take to it, then I'm probably just going to mainline that one and kind of drop Assassin's Creed by the wayside, at least until Red Dead's done. And they're both really massive games. And if I have any hopes of reaching my goal of 10, I've still got to buy 1 or 2 more games after that. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So luckily, my goal specifically was just I want to be able to have played 10 different games. My goal wasn't necessarily having to have beat it. I kind of gave myself a little bit of an out that way.
I thought it was to beat it.
No, I just wanted to have like at least 10 different games to where like if I made a top 10, I could top 10 them. I've never played 10 games in a year that were brand new that year. Usually play like maybe 3, and then the other ones are old games or something like that. So, but I want to finish it, and I'm so early in. I don't even think I'm an hour into it, and so I'm at the typical like okay, we're teaching you the tutorial stuff. It just feels like a normal AC to me. Like, it doesn't feel like it's opened up yet. But I think it looks great. Like, the only point that I bought is I bought the kick. Like, I've only gotten one skill point, and I bought it. I'm kicking people off. Give me that kick point. So I've got that
that's
one.
awesome.
I haven't even used it yet. I bought it, and I was like, awesome. And then I shut it down.
You're just waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because both of those games right now are on the back burner because the Overwatch Halloween event dropped, and they've got skins galore and things that I want, and so I'm just Overwatching it up now. I mean, I feel like that's going to be my thing for at least the next 2 weeks. Those are probably going to be the games that I play the most because not only am I playing on my account, but I'm trying to do good by Stacy because she can't play, and I'm then playing on her account and trying to at least get her arcade loot boxes so she has a chance to get something cool. So when she comes home, she's got a cool Halloween something or other because she's not going to get to play any of it. So I feel like that's what's going to be taking up most of my time, but I am going to squeeze back in some more Odyssey and Forza Horizon 4 because I was enjoying them, even though I was just so early in that I didn't really get the ball rolling too much on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my October is going to be pretty ramped, I think.
So I've got a question about the whole Overwatch thing because now that
Yes.
I'm into it. So like with these Halloween events, do you get more frequent loot boxes, or it's still
No.
once you level up, you still have to you get one?
It's still tied to, so every week if you go into the arcade playlist, if you play one of the arcade games, they have it set up to where, like, if you get 3 wins, you get a loot box, and you can do that 3 times. So after 9 wins, you're guaranteed 3 loot boxes, and that's independent of the ones you get for leveling up a complete level on your character. But the progression of the leveling up on your character, that's the same. Like, it's not any faster or slower than normal. It's just the same as the typical game. And I don't know for sure. Maybe Ed, you can chime in on this if you've recognized, but I feel like the Halloween event tends to feel like it's the longest one. Is that the way it feels to you? I don't like it started the 9th and it goes all the way through Halloween. That feels like a long time. I'm not complaining, but I don't remember the other events being quite that long. Is that?
Yeah, I don't
crazy
know if
there?
it's because of the dates, so it almost takes up an entire month instead of like starting halfway through a month, and so I don't know. I guess it's maybe about random. I feel like sometimes it goes from like the 15th to the 15th or something. Or
Gotcha.
I don't know.
I'm excited.
I mean, I'm super excited
really cool.
about it. They've got some awesome skins on there. And luckily, I already got one. They give you, usually when a new event drops, Router, they'll gift you one free loot box that's tied to that event. And so I opened up my gift loot box, and I got, like, in my opinion, one of the best skins in the game. I got the Hammond Pumpkin skin. And I was like, oh my gosh, this event is starting out treating me right. I haven't gotten squat since then, but that was awesome. So I'm super happy about that.
Nice.
Lord have mercy.
That's it for me.
Nice. Well, Router,
Yes, sir.
you got it?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's do it!
All right, new releases this week, starting with Space Hulk Tactics for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. We have Stranded Deep for the PS4 and Xbox One. Mark of the Ninja Remastered for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Home Sweet Home for the PS4, Xbox One, and PSVR. Shortest Trip to Earth, Steam Early Access for the PC. Disgaea 1 Complete for the PS4 and Switch. Tricky Towers for the Switch. The Swindle for the Switch. The Missing for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Child of Light for the Switch. For the 3DS, Luigi's Mansion. Remember, we used to say that quite a bit.
Wow.
Yeah, we did.
The World Ends With You Final Remix for the Switch. And the most important one this week, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. I totally forgot that came out this week. And it's kind of weird.
I did too.
Don't they?
So did
because
I.
It's out right now? Oh,
they
wow.
come
Is
out
it a
normally
Friday
in
release?
November. Yeah, like it is. It's coming out on Friday, the 12th.
Okay, gotcha. Wow. I knew it was soon, but I didn't realize it was this week either.
I know, and I started seeing ads for Call of Duty. I'm like, yeah, that must be coming up because it's normally like first week in November or something like that. And I look, I'm like, holy cow, it's this week. So go get your Call of Duty Black Ops 4 on.
Weird.
Yeah,
That's
isn't that
this
weird?
week?
Yep.
Yeah, Call of Duty Friday.
Huh. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's kind of freaking me out. I'm like, wait, No, is it November? What's happening?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's weird. We did have a few oops from our boy Robert Darrell Good Jr. The Witcher video game series by CD Projekt Red was released in 2003. By the time the Witcher book series had already spawned comic books, a tabletop RPG, and a TV series called The Hexer. So the author was actually well aware of his IP's popularity. So when we were talking about that last week, then clearly he was just an idiot and didn't really.
Well, he must have just really not believed in CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are busters.
I mean, even though there was a tabletop RPG, a comic book, and a TV series. Oh, okay, what's your problem? So, yeah. So
I know, yeah. Interesting.
That's really interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And then
Here's the question, though. Just because it has all that stuff doesn't mean all those things did good.
Oh, well, that's very true.
Right.
But
You know what I'm saying? So
but the
it might have
potential.
still lacked outside of the novels or
Yeah.
whatever the books were originally.
But-
I wonder if still, if the board game underperformed and the comic book underperformed or whatever he said there was, I wonder if that's why he took the money up front, because he's like, man, these other things didn't actually do that good. So let me go ahead and get my money up front. You know what I mean?
But you know what's weird? Like if they're doing a comic book, a tabletop, and already a TV series, and then on top of that, they're adding a video game. Clearly, something's resonated with somebody over there. Like, wouldn't you kind of pick up on that?
He could totally have just been like an elitist and be like, oh, the written medium is so much better. Video games, that's, just kiddie stuff. You're not going to really sell much, but go ahead and buy my license and give me my money. He may have just not had faith in the game aspect of it.
That is very true.
Maybe he's like snooty-nosed about it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Very true. MLS Chop said, sounds like you guys took both bad Batman movies and merged them. So I think we got it all wrong last week. So Val Kilmer, Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones were in Batman Forever. Clooney, Arnold, and Uma Thurman were in Batman and Robin. So it's so funny. I totally merged them all too. And so
what terrible Batman movies.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Compared to
They're
what
bad,
we have
they just
now,
kind of all blur together.
those are so terrible. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're both like really bright with a lot of colors and stuff. So yeah, they
I
kinda,
know.
like, both meld together pretty easily.
Yeah, and they were very forgettable. I don't remember the plot or anything. So, yeah.
Yeah, there was a bad guy and there was Batman.
And so this one isn't. This is from Holy Headshot. It's not necessarily an oops, but more of a. He said, "I want to oops at video games for never seeing Three Amigos." And oops all of you for saying Steve Martin movies don't hold up. There is never a mood I could be in that Dirty Rotten Scoundrels wouldn't fix. And so this is more of an opinion oops, but I still respectfully disagree because I still don't think they would add up as much. Like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels was good at the time. If I saw it now, I'd be like, what else is on?
See, Dirty Rotten for me holds up, and I'm a huge Steve Martin fan, but I'm not like a Nintendo Steve Martin fan. I can admit, hey, don't see A Simple Twist of Fate. Don't see Mixed Nuts. He's done some ones that even at the time
he's done
weren't
some
that
duds.
good. So some of them do, some of them don't.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds fair and balanced to me. Fair and balanced.
Yeah, fair and balanced. That's right. We don't have MPD for the September yet, so that's it for me. Back to you guys.
Chris McCracken.
Yeah, so if you guys remember back to, I believe it was the last E3, Microsoft kind of just really quickly and loosely mentioned that they were going to do something in the streaming game realm. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to do something with all that, but they didn't really expound upon it. They just kind of teased it, if you will. So they finally came out on Monday and kind of talked a little bit more about what it is. At the moment, I'm assuming this is not going to be the final name, but they're calling it Project xCloud. And that's the name that they're, the temporary, I guess, name. I'm calling it temporary name that they're giving to their global streaming technology. And their goal is will allow users to play console and Windows PC games on mobile devices and more. They're going to basically set it up to where you can pair just a Bluetooth Xbox controller to your PC or your mobile device if you want. In the little video, they had a little video where they kind of introduced it, and you see one of those contraptions where it's like it's got the controller and then it's got a little thing that's holding a phone so that you can be looking at the phone while you're playing with your controller. Same thing with tablets and vice versa. You can use it that way as well. They're also going to be focusing on an overlay system for on-screen controls that are very responsive yet as minimal as possible for if you're deciding that you want to play on a mobile device and you don't have a controller or you don't want to use a controller. Let's say you're out, sitting there while your wife's changing clothes or your significant other's like shopping and you're just sitting in a dressing room or something and you're like playing a game. You may not have a controller, so they are going to have on-screen controls for it, but they're going to make it to where you can pair with a controller because that's better. They're going to be supporting 4G and 5G cellular networks. And they say that they actually have it up and running right now. It's just that it's a little minimal area. They're going to be using their Azure cloud service, which I think is what they'd always talked about is they were going to end up using at some point. Because way back in the day when the Xbox One first came out, they talked very heavily about the power of the cloud and all this kind of stuff. And it's all kind of coming to fruition outside the little bits that they've used it in the past. They said that it's going to enter public beta in 2019, and there's no specifics on an actual release time. And I don't know I don't know if the beta is just going to be literally open to everybody. I assume it is because it says public beta, but then sometimes they use the word public beta, but it's still limited to how many people can do it. So I don't know. We'll just have to see. But it comes very soon after Google had announced their whole streaming service into browsers. And then, as we know, PlayStation has had the PlayStation Now for a long time now, and it's kind of competing somewhat in this realm. Not a one-to-one same thing, but I mean, on the PlayStation side, you can stream to PCs and Macs as well. They did way back when they announced it. They talked about
the PS TVs, right?
Yeah, and the PS TV. They did announce way back when that they would be able to stream to mobile devices like tablets and phones. And initially, when they did it, it was restricted specifically to Sony phones and Sony tablets.
Yeah, the Xperia phones.
Yeah, something like that. Now, other people on just Android in general were able to get it to work. I think even Gabe got it to work and put a video on our channel one time of him using remote play to his phone a long time ago.
Holler.
It never came to iOS, which is something that's weird because I don't remember if they specifically mentioned that, but the impression I got was when they said, hey, it's going to go to mobile devices and it's going to be specific to these Sony phones first. My understanding is it was always going to open up because their plan was to make it to where you can stream to anything. Because if you remember, for a while there, they were selling Sony Bravia TVs and Samsung TVs where it just had PlayStation Now built in, and you could pair a controller directly to that TV and have no box, and you were just streaming that way. So it seemed like the plan was going to open it up to everything, very similar to the way that Microsoft's talking about how they're planning to do it, but it never kind of went that way. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
I think the only thing that I saw that was kind of really cool about PS Now was them, like you're saying, working them into the Bravias. And I think they got that going, right? Where you just needed a controller and it was built into the television?
Yeah, they had it to where you could connect a controller just to a TV. So like if you bought a Samsung TV that had PlayStation Now technology, or I'm sure many of the Sony Bravia ones had it, and you could pair the controller directly to the TV, so you'd have no box of any sort at all. It'd just be streaming straight to the TV. I know they got that working, and I know they did have it working to Sony tablets and phones as well. And then, if you if you kind of root it around on your Android phone, you could get it to other ones as well. So I don't know if they're still working on getting that to where it's opened up to everything. I feel like they're going to have to if Microsoft is able to capitalize on what they're saying they're going to do, because then they'll be in an area where Sony's not competing. And then the same with Google. I mean, Google's right now is just saying, "Oh, we're going to stream to the browser." I've got to assume they really have bigger plans than that. They're just trying to keep things close to the vest.
Did any of you guys sign up for the Google Stream?
I did not.
Nope.
I did. I didn't get in, but I did see some headlines from some people trying Assassin's Creed, because I think that was the sole game that they had going on that for right now. And they said it was surprisingly responsive.
Yeah, I saw the same thing.
Well,
I saw people saying that it was pretty good. And do you know, did they say, I'm assuming you have some way to pair a controller, right? Or do you have to do it with a mouse keyboard or a mouse and trackpad in the browser? Do you know?
I don't know that part.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm assuming there's some type of controller support, but I mean, it just seems, I do feel like inevitably down the road, streaming is going to be because if the promise of streaming, let's say bandwidth gets banging all across, the United States and the world, and it's really good, in my opinion, streaming probably is the best option because then you can play anything on anything wherever you are. You don't have to worry about having the biggest, baddest machine in the world because it's like, I just need to stream it to this. The problem is that how long is it really going to take bandwidth to get there to where it's really that good? And it may not even be a bandwidth issue, obviously. I mean, not obviously, but also because maybe Microsoft's found some new way to send data because right now everything... I think it's all still packet-based over the internet. Like maybe they've created some new way to send it that's more efficient. I don't know.
Here's the question. So I started up the little old school Nintendo thing on the Switch yesterday.
Yeah.
Just because I was like killing time and I was playing with the wireless Joy-Cons. And again, I don't know if this was just because I'm still using like the original Joy-Cons that came with the Joy-Cons that came with my Switch never acted up. Like, you know how everybody was like, oh, I'm just walking in a circle, but I'm not even touching the Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that whole kerfluffle with the left controller especially. I did buy an extra set so that I could play, you know, party games like 1-2 Switch or whatever in the future that you could play with 4 people. And those were jacked up. So I leave those on the console and then I use the other ones to play, you know, from the couch. And I was playing Mario Brothers, and just with the little bit of lag that's there, it felt totally different than I've played Mario. I died like all 3 times, like in the first little bit. Like I think the first guy got me once or twice, just because I'm so used to the super responsiveness of Super Mario Brothers. Anyway, I'm just wondering if we will just learn to deal with the lag that comes with streaming, because it seems like it'll never be as good as console gaming, even though we've probably gotten used to the slight Bluetooth lag that's there between the controller and our consoles now.
I do think that getting used to it and working with it is something that's doable because like I dabbled with PlayStation Now way back, I feel like when it first came out. And I remember back then, I lived in the old house and didn't have the best internet, but I had good enough. And if I played a game that was third person in view and not Twitch-based, I could tell there was a little bit of lag, but it was so minimal that it didn't really affect my ability to be able to do the things and play the game. Anytime I played anything first person, even if it wasn't necessarily like a Twitch-based thing, but if it just was first person in general, there was just too much. Like, it's the same problem that I ran into whenever I played, the Dishonored game. Like, if I'm pushing over and I can tell that it's taking a half second, or not really a half second, I'm just using that term, but like it feels like I can tell that I'm moving it and it's not moving, that's not going to work for me in first person. So, I mean, I do think that they can get it way down, and I think it's going to ultimately come down to it's going to be partially bandwidth, but I do think it's going to have to be a way. They're just going to have to figure some different way to send the data across the tubes more efficiently, and it not just be simply based on how fast your connection is. I think. I don't know.
What else you got, Ed? Or what else you got, Gabe?
The clouds have officially parted. God has officially looked down.
Oh, man.
No.
And he's officially said, I love you, Sabbath Gray.
No, this is the people sinning and him saying, I don't approve of this, but you have free will. You can do what you want. Should have been responsible in the beginning.
I know. I wasn't as witty in 98.
Yeah.
Or 99, whenever I had to create my PlayStation name as I am these days. So the name changes are finally coming to the PlayStation Network for your online ID, and I am very happy about that. It is coming to the PlayStation Preview program very soon, they said. It will also become available to select users that have pre-registered as testers for previous PS4 system software betas.
Yep.
So I don't know what that means. I've been a part of betas before, but so have a lot of people. So I don't know which games they're going to be looking at, but I know that I was a part of the Destiny beta. I was a part of, I don't remember, some other ones.
No, but they
I
mean
definitely
system
have
betas,
signed up for a beta in the past.
Like when you get like system
Oh,
software
system
6.0
software
or
betas.
whatever. Yeah, they've had betas for that. I think that's what they mean.
So
Yeah.
I signed up for that way back in the day.
Yeah.
And then there was that one update that started bricking PS4s, and I took myself off that thing, like, and I didn't do them anymore.
Probably
So I
a good
don't know if
idea.
I, like, unsigned up for it or just didn't. I'm not a part of the preview program, though, I'm pretty sure. So the preview program is going to work a lot like the Xbox One, where the first change is free, and then changes after that will cost $10, which I think it's $8 on Microsoft's, if I'm not mistaken. For PS Plus users, it'll only cost $5 after the first free change.
Oh, there you
So
go.
they're going to let you change it, and then they're going to say if you don't like the change, you can actually revert back to your old one for free. So your
Wow.
old one sounds like it'll always be there.
Yeah.
Also, a reason your old one will always be there is because they definitely said that the feature is compatible with games published after April 1st, 2018. That's
Oh, wow.
just a couple months ago.
Yep.
Oh,
And
wow.
so-
I can't grab Sabbath Gray.
Yeah, sorry. I know you want it. I know you want it.
Dude, don't think someone in our community wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. The new Sabbath grade.
Why would anybody want that?
Because it's
Oh
your
my
old
gosh.
one. I can see a Stapleton
Oh, man.
rocking that name.
A Stapleton.
Or
Oh,
a certain
man.
Brazilian who has a local
Yeah.
West Virginia phone number?
Yeah, he's shifty enough. He'd do that.
Banned.
So this is what's interesting is that not all PS4, PS3, and PS Vita system games will work with this feature. So what I'm guessing is it's kind of a facade
Yes.
for the newer games.
Yes.
I think I'll still be Sabbath Gray on all the old games and even some PS4 games. So we'll probably, for those of us that switch, will probably be some amalgamation of both.
Sabbath
Yes.
Gabe.
And so under everything, I'll be Sabbath Gray.
There it is.
Then on top, I'll be Sabbath Gabe. How did you know? I didn't want you to tell anybody. I want anybody stealing it. So they're saying for all the rest of us, it's not coming till the beginning of 2019, which I was really hoping it'd get here like December and be a great Christmas present from Sony to me personally.
Yeah.
Sure.
But that doesn't seem to be the case. And I know you guys are all sticking with your names, but I'll be glad to have
Man.
both. Anyway, I'm excited about it. I know it won't be a big deal for everybody, but I know like my buddy Sammy who signed up and is Bebe Daddy because that's his daughter's name is Bebe, and he can't wait to change his name. I have no idea what he's changing his to, but so I know that there's a lot of people. Obviously, if people have been asking about it,
Yep.
there's a lot of other people out there that probably didn't know from a long time ago that you weren't going to be able to change it ever.
I know, right?
So,
Hey, what's up, Sean Capri?
is he wanting to change his?
Oh, yeah.
He might.
Why? What's his right now?
It's not
I forget,
family
but I'll tell
friendly.
you afterwards.
I forget, but I'll tell you afterwards.
That's
But I know a
awesome.
lot of people that used their first and last name and just didn't like that.
Oh, right.
They were like, man, I probably shouldn't have just used my name because of privacy issues or whatever. But anyway, Christopher,
Yes. Hang on. I'm trying to find my little story thing down
Rate
here.
us on
There it is.
iTunes.
Yeah, rate us on iTunes.
Exactly.
Nope, that's the same story you just talked about. Let's see here. All right, so
We're gonna win that award.
That's right.
The-
podcast,
Oh, man.
podcast 2018. It's us.
There you go.
Got it in the bag.
this is how you do it, kids. Follow our lead.
yeah, exactly. This is when everyone else that just started a podcast gets really encouraged.
Yes.
That's right.
So
There's
Man,
a
we're
chance.
allowed to sound like this 6 years in.
Yeah, man.
That's encouraging.
that's the way that you do it. It's the secret sauce.
I don't like it.
So the Telltale saga, the Telltale saga has somewhat, seemingly, at least to some extent, ended on a bit of a happy note. If you kind of depends on how you look at it. So Skybound Games, which is tied to Skybound, the company, which is Robert Kirkman's company, which I think is under their umbrella is everything, like all the different various Walking Dead things. I think from the comics to the TV show to helping license it in various different areas. They also have a division called...
I don't know if he's the sole creator, but he's one of the creators. Kirkman, we should mention.
But his Skybound Entertainment is his company, as I understand it, is what I'm saying. And they have...
No. But I'm saying as well, he was... I feel like he's the author or the...
Yeah, he's the author of the Walking Dead comics.
Original authors of The Walking Dead.
Yes. Yeah, so he's the author of it. But every time that you would play one of the Telltale games on the Walking Dead one specifically, it'd always have the little Skybound logo because, again, everything is licensed through Skybound Entertainment. Well, Skybound Games, which is a division of Skybound Entertainment, has now acquired the rights to finish The Walking Dead Season 4, essentially.
Oh, good.
And so it's like it's a little ambiguous depending on which report you read and the information that's out there. My understanding is that they took over, like they completely purchased the license or all of it back. So like it's not like Telltale, like they're finishing it for Telltale and they're getting paid by Telltale to do it. Like they took it away from Telltale and like we're finishing it. And my understanding as well is that they're trying to acquire back as many of the original developers they can to help finish it out. I think there's only 2 more episodes that are left in season 4. So that's kind of where it stands now as that I've seen. I haven't heard like if any of those people that were laid off, if they did indeed accept like the opportunity, or I don't know where it stands and I don't know how quickly they're going to be able to get it rolling. But Skybound did put out a tweet saying that, yes, we're happy to announce that we've reached a deal and we're taking The Walking Dead and we are going to be finishing out the final season. So it looks like if you are a season pass person and all that stuff, I'm assuming still going to be honored and we'll have a completion to the actual series, which I feel like out of all of them, even though I know people really love the Wolf Among Us, really love that series. I feel like of them all, this is probably The Walking Dead is their crown jewel and definitely the one that has the most longevity throughout, and it kind of needs an ending the most.
Absolutely.
Because we're at this point, there was seeming like there's going to be no real payoff to this big journey that we've been on. So
yeah, definitely.
It's a good in that sense. I still it's a little weird on how all the specifics are, but at the end of the day, I guess that doesn't really matter as long as they can finish the game and people that are affected negatively are in some way, shape, or form taken care of, which it seems like that's kind of happening if they're at least getting to be brought on to finish this out, like under a contract or something, So kudos to them.
Will they be finishing the story like? I don't even know if Telltale had it completely written out. This is how it's going to end. But I wonder, like, will Skybound say this is how we're going to end it, or are they going to do Telltale's ending?
I really don't know. If I had to guess, just based on stuff that we've heard about Telltale for over all the time, it seems like they may have a loose plan for season 4, but then they just kind of a bit make it up as they go based on reactions and where things go. Because, they have all those stats. It's like all these people chose this path or made this decision. And I feel like they always kind of iterated things a little bit based on information they were getting, but I don't really know. I'm assuming...
Yep.
If they can get on some of the old writers that were let go, I bet they'd want to try to keep it as close to the vision that they had as possible, but who knows?
Yeah.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall and hear how many times the managers at Skybound Games go, "What?
Yeah.
Why did you guys do it like that?"
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, as they're like, okay, so, we want to finish this thing up. How would you guys say about that? They're like, we just kind of would do this. What?
Yeah.
Well, why would you do it like that?
Yeah.
And then they go home and tell their wives, like, no freaking wonder over dinner. Because they're eating their meatloaf.
Yeah.
I would think, though, that for the sake of time, because you kind of want to get this going as quickly as possible, that they would probably lean on whatever they were planning on doing for the season and then making maybe minor edits from there.
No, but that's what Chris is saying. Like, he doesn't know that they had a plan. Like, planning on is... up to the information that they gathered.
I know, wouldn't that be amazing?
In the episode before.
We just had this one. That's all we got. And they're like, oh, crap, we got to write this now?
Right. They're like, it didn't work for Lost. Let's us do it.
Yeah. Like the chapter titles were always super vague because they never knew what exactly was going to happen.
Yeah.
So if you go back and look at
The morning after.
or hard times approach or something like that, it's,
Chapter 1, resume builder.
yes. So on all of the Telltale games, if you look at the chapter titles, it's like, why is it called this one? And
Zombie, stab.
Walkie, dead.
A New Dawn.
A New dawn.
Yeah, exactly.
The longest night.
That's hilarious.
Creepy sounds.
Creepy sounds.
Love it.
Zombie
Oh my
won't
gosh.
remember that.
Yeah.
Zombie won't remember that. That's good, Ed.
I think above everybody's head that listens to this week's episode is going to be, they will unfortunately remember
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Yep.
So The Legend of Zelda is getting a version on the Nintendo Switch from the online, standpoint. That's basically a hacked ROM version of the game, where you get to start. This is the original Legend of Zelda on the Nintendo. You get to start with everything, like the white sword, the magic shield, the blue ring, the power bracelet, and you get like a bunch of whatever the in-game currency was called. I don't actually know what it was called. Rupees, maybe? I don't remember. That's probably wrong. But you
Euros.
get like a bunch.
Yeah.
Exactly. You get a bunch of them to start the game out, to make the game easier for people playing now, which I think is hilarious, because Legend of Zelda was always known to be an extremely tough game. The map is huge. It's confusing. People would have to get graph paper and write out everything so they knew where they were going. There's so many homemade Zelda maps to try to get through Legend of Zelda. And so I think they're trying to make it easier for those that are just sticking their toe in the water and they're
That's
like,
funny.
I don't know what to do, because the game didn't really tell you what to do.
This
And
is the
so,
original Zelda.
Yeah, this is the original Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, that was a tough game.
That's on the little throwback. So I played it a couple of years ago. I think we were doing the podcast when I first tried the Legend of Zelda. And yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world. And I definitely found myself on Google a bunch of times. So I think this might be, it's not going to help you with the map, I don't think, but
Yeah.
it'll at least give you a little leg up when heading into it that you might not have had before. What do you guys think of trying to make older games easier? Are we getting softer as gamers?
I mean, they've just gotten, they're just so different.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, think about how many buttons do we have on our controller now compared to what you did have? Like, so I feel like the mechanics of it has been way more intricate. Now it's just trying to navigate through, okay, well, this is how you do it. I mean, I think there has to be a little bit of that, because also think about it, video games are way more popular now than they've ever been, and it's so they have to appeal to a more global and general audience versus, the hardcore gamers that know the structure, know how things work and go from there. I mean, I think back in the day it was way harder.
Yeah. I just don't know if it was harder or if it just lacked tutorial. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there wasn't always, this is how you did this. But I wonder if this is how you, like, whenever I used to play like a track and field game, sometimes on like the pole vault, the high jump, you didn't have any idea what you were supposed to do. You're like,
That's
okay,
true.
so I mash A and B, and then I jump, then I'm supposed to press left on the directional, then right to bring my legs over, but nobody ever told you that. You just had to hear from a friend who accidentally did that once.
Yeah.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that now we live in an information age when you can find out anything. So nobody wants to be in a I don't understand or I don't know. They're like, well, I'll just go get the answer and then continue on. It's like, and some people, purists, will look at it and be like, oh, we've lost something. But then other people are like, but we've gained way more. So I'm fine with it being that way. So, I mean, like back in the day, cavemen would just kill the animal and eat the meat raw. And it's like, but now I have fire and fork and knife, so I'm not going to do that anymore. I know a better way. So now that I can play games, with more going on and better instruction just to get me started and everything like that, I'd rather play it that way. Like I'm not, like if I were to play Zelda right now, And I was like, oh, I can't figure out what to do. There ain't no way I'm going to take my time and figure it out. No, I'm going to Google and what is it? YouTube. All right, cool. And that's what I'm going to do. Because I get enjoyment from doing the task and defeating it, not from figuring out the puzzle and all that other junk. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
That's just me, though. I know some people really love that. They love the whole exploration and discoverability and stuff. And that's great because then they still have the ability to go back and play those the way they were originally made, you know? It's everybody gets it's a win-win-win. Right. Everybody can play it how they want to play it, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
That's right. What else you got, Christopher?
You're out, right?
I have one more.
Oh, okay. Well, I just have two little small ones, so I'll just do both of them really quickly. One, Microsoft had announced just a couple little tidbits about Forza Horizon 4. They said that within a week they already had 2 million players. It's also become the highest rated Xbox exclusive of the entire generation currently for them, which is good to them because, and as I was saying before, I think last week or whenever it first dropped, it's like, yeah, I feel like Forza is always the one, especially the Horizon series. I don't feel like it's ever gotten a bad rating or anybody being like, well, this is just not that great. It's always, I mean, it tends to always do really, really well. And then, of course, they gave out a couple of like little goofy stats. Like there's been $4.6 million of in-game currency spent. There's been wait, I got those mixed up. 4.6 million hours of Forza gameplay on Mixer, and then 822 million miles have been driven, which the Mixer one, like, that's a cool stat, but at the same time, like, you're definitely incentivizing that by the whole influence thing, by playing, streaming or watching Mixer and you get influence, so kind of inflated those numbers a little bit.
And if you're just having cars just sit there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not really streaming the game.
Yeah, everything is on there. So the other one was they spent $4.1 million on properties, and there's been 74.4 million vehicles purchased so far in the game.
Wow.
So
yeah, like that Mixer stream that I always have pulled up, I'm looking at it now. There are 4,600 people watching it right now. So,
wow.
Is the camera moving or anything? Like, did they at least push over on their joystick with like
it's kind of
a
like
toothpick or something?
Like when you don't do anything, it takes like different shots, different angles of your car.
Yeah, like the camera will just automatically kind of zoom around it or zoom in on this logo, and it's constantly moving and doing something that you may not have to be moving the actual controller yourself. The other quick one that I had was the Guinness Book of World Records gave a world record for the most platinum trophies, and they got the guy who got it he goes by the name Hakoom, Hkoom, and he had 1,691 platinums when he got his record, and that number is already out of date because he currently, at the time of writing this article, had 1,717. Which is above when he got his thing. And he's barely in first place because the second place person was only 6 behind him.
What?
So, yeah,
6?
only 6 trophies behind his total number. So it's not like he can rest on his laurels.
Somebody needs to play some Telltale games.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to keep it going. He has over 70,000 trophies overall. So not just because there's all the different trophies, the platinum, the bronze, and the gold, and everything.
Right.
So, I can't even imagine. Like, I'm sitting on 10 platinums, and I feel like pretty good about myself. Like, this guy, that's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
But kudos to him, and don't take your foot off the
but
gas because homeboy's right on your tail, ready to take you over.
That's right.
Wow.
It almost makes me wonder, like, how often can they give out this Guinness Book of World Record? Because it's got to be getting beat like every other week or something crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I wonder if it stays in the same hands, if they don't have to give it back out.
Yeah, maybe.
But if it changed hands, they would have to give it out.
Or maybe if it jumps like by 500, the number, maybe even if it's the same guy, maybe it's like, okay, that's worthy of a new one or something. I don't know.
Well, it's got to go by, I mean, there's not that many games, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you already have 1,000-something platinums, it just seems like the PlayStation doesn't have 2,000 games to where, oh, well, I beat him by 1,000.
Right.
So now I'm the holder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be one or two here or there. I don't think it's the gap is probably not very extreme.
That's what it's got to be. If I'm taller than you by a half inch, then I'm the Guinness World Record holder. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's got to be just by one, right? I mean, they probably have a provision where they're like, listen, y'all, we're not just going to go back and forth between y'all's houses.
Exactly.
And, give a plaque every single time, but
yeah,
I can't imagine the numbers can be too. It's got to be a small number that you're able to beat it by before saying you're now the world record holder.
And I know like the book, like the Guinness Book of World Records would come out like every year. So I wonder if like they have a cutoff time, like whoever has the record on this date every year, that's who gets it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because again, by the time that they published that he was getting the record and what his record number was, he was already, well above that, by like 30 more platinums or whatever.
I hope he's getting paid on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, because Lord have mercy.
I know.
That's a lot of gaming.
That's a lot of crummy games too.
Oh yeah, those guys. They're like any game that has platinum. What? I click this mayo jar. Yep, platinum. Give it to me.
That's awesome.
Exactly. My last thing, real quick, is that it sounds like Yoshida-san
Wow.
and some other higher ups are talking about the PlayStation 5. Yoshida said at this point, what I can say is it's necessary to have a next gen hardware. So, that's good. I think we all figured they'd have a next one.
Yeah.
But I think there will get to a point where, like Chris has said in the past, we'll have a last console and then everything will move to streaming, more than likely. And then John Cadera, the CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, said we will use the next 3 years to prepare the next step, to crouch down so that we can jump higher in the future. And so that kind of put me on my heels a little bit. I wouldn't think that it would have been 3 years away. I would have thought it would have been 2 years away. But we're just now approaching the 5th year of the PS4. And I think the last generation was 8 years. And I think we all surmised that this one would be around 7 years, probably, just guessing.
Nah.
So that would put this one back at 8 years if it's the full 3 years. I don't see it being 3 years, but, I think a lot of it has to do with what Microsoft ends up doing as well. If they kind of get murmurings that they've got their foot a little bit more or a little bit less on the gas.
I think we'll have 2020 we'll have PS5 or whatever they're going to call it by 2020 at the latest.
You think?
I could see it getting announced at E3 next year or somewhere near there, maybe at their own event, and then maybe coming out the following holiday season or right after the new year. I could see that happening.
You want to bet Gabe on that?
Do I want to bet what?
Oh no, I don't have that kind of money.
I tried, Chris. I tried.
Dang it. I will say, I think
it feels unwise to me for it to be that fast. But go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think you're right. I think it is going to focus a little bit more on streaming. And if that's the case, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they spend half of that time working on broadband and server development and, bringing better internet to basically everybody, or at least not bringing internet, but making your servers as robust as possible. Because if that's where the trend is going and if that's what the focus is going to start being, I still feel like they have a long way to go because you still have a lot of crashes. There's still a lot of issues, especially like what happens when everybody starts jumping on a server or, everything goes to digital. We need way more storage space on our consoles than if that's the case.
Way more.
Way more. And we're going to need really consistent data stream, in order to play these type of games. So I think they're going to spend some of I think both companies are going to spend some time. We might in the next couple months and or a year or two, we might hear of some acquisitions on data and server and broadband companies. Who knows? I think if they're smart, they need to think about that as well, because it could be a huge disaster if that's what they go for and they don't have anything to back. They don't have.
Are you talking about specifically on the streaming side, or are you talking about just digital content in general, like where everything's digital, like there's no disk drive or something?
Exactly. I think digital content in general, storage for me, storage is, if I'm going to switch, storage is the number one thing for me, because I don't necessarily want to have to go get an external hard drive if I don't need to.
Yeah, but
I want to be able to,
But that's.
I mean, it's a small thing. You're right.
I mean, I feel like.
No, I think the digital and streaming thing, I think, goes hand in hand. So I think once they as they push further into the just digital space, and as streaming is coming along, I agree with what router saying as they move away from everything physical, I don't think it'll be. Yes, do I think that one day it'll be purely streaming? Yes, I do. But I think that that's not the next step. I think the next step is to go, 90% digital,
right,
and then have a bunch of streaming as far as how you purchase, and then how you and then with the streaming really coming on strong shortly after that.
Yeah,
I'm really curious
Sony's
to see what they're
not
going to say.
To invest in internet companies or anything that's going to involve like them moving bandwidth to new cities and things like that. Like they're not going to invest in ISP.
No,
type
you're
stuff.
right. You're right.
Now they are. There's been right before we got all this official information about the PSN name changes. Obviously, there's always been rumors, but the rumors have been getting really tight. Like I think the Friday or Thursday before the announcement from PlayStation blog where they said, yep, it's a real thing, we were already getting reports like, hey, we've got several developers saying this is imminent. It's about to happen, name changes, and then it happened. So there's also been a lot of kind of heat right now about, there's been people saying, look, Sony is developing an entire, like they're building from the ground up a brand new PSN that's going to launch with PlayStation 5. Now, again, right now it's very heavily just like a rumor, like hearsay kind of situation, but I could totally see that. And to me, the PlayStation Network name change thing just happened. The way that they're doing it is very obviously clear to me that this is simply a Band-Aid. The fact that it doesn't work with everything and that PlayStation and Vita stuff, it's basically non-existent. It is just fixing from here going forward. It is very much a, hey, we're giving you this because we said we would. The next, I fully believe that they're building a brand new PSN from the ground up to be as flexible, future forward as possible. And that I agree, like they may be totally building up their infrastructure and everything like that. Because I do think next year or next generation they're gonna push streaming a bunch. But I'm kind of with Gabe. Like it's still a ways off before they can like rely on it completely. But I do think it is possible that the next generation, whatever it be, could like forego physical media. Where that becomes a big question mark is because at the moment they still really need the retailers, and the retailers are not going to be in for the digital stuff unless they work some deal where it's like, well, you sell our credits and we give you a cut that way, which they currently already do, but they're going to have to really push that thing. But it's so and I understand
that. They're gonna have to make that sexier because that's not sexy.
I understand that it's a separate step, router, to your point, and I totally get that. But like they're not going to be putting if you look in the like when you're building computers and building your own PCs and what like that, like most people are trying to move towards solid state media. But I just don't see Microsoft or Sony or anybody else who produces a console moving to solid state media as their main medium because it's expensive to do a 2 terabyte SSD, So they're going to stick to spinning drives. And spinning drives, it's like you're capping out at like 2, maybe 3, especially on the smaller ones like they go on our consoles because they're not full-size drives. I think they're going to continue to rely on like just expandable storage. We're going to give you more ports and let you do it that way. And that if it is digital, that's going to be their solution. I don't see that changing in a year or two when I'm expecting the next generation to start. Maybe it will. I can be totally surprised.
You think we're going to have the? I just want to be clear. You think that we're going to get a PS5 by holiday 2020?
Yeah. If it's not, I think it will.
I don't think so.
Man, that seems fast.
No, but if you think about it, like the PS3 generation was 7 years, but the 2 generations I believe before that, they were only 5. So the last one was just extra long. It was longer than any one we'd had for a while. So, I mean, sure. I feel like last generation, the PS3 360 generation, I feel like that was a bit of an anomaly. Like Xbox didn't need to do anything because they were ahead the vast majority of it. And then PlayStation was like, crap, we got to figure out a whole new technology because this cell technology that we built in the PlayStation 3 is not doing us good. So they had to build something completely different and figure a whole new thing out. I think they eked it out as long as they could. I don't think they want to go 7 years again. I just don't. Because I mean, and then the whole fact that they pulled out the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, and they did these iterative ones. Even Sony, it sounds like Nintendo's maybe going to do that soon with the Switch. I think that's just them saying like, look, every 3 years or so, we need to have a new thing. And so, if 3 years from when the Pro and the X came out, have a new console. To me, that makes total sense. It makes them money. So why would they not do it that way? I don't think they're going to get.
It seems like it's the harder way to make money. I don't think they'll get pushback, especially if they wait 7 years. I just think they'll wait 8. If that makes sense.
I will be shocked if we're past 2020 before something comes out. I'll be shocked. I would like to put a bet on it, but I don't know what to bet.
I know. We could bet. Let's bet a launch PS5 game.
There you go.
Okay, there you go.
You know
Launch
what?
PS5 game of
Done.
the winner's choice.
Maybe. No, let's not do that. Let's not do
Never
that.
mind, we're not doing
Let's
that.
just do no, I'm just saying let's do a game because some of the launch titles are
Yeah,
terrible.
Okay.
That's true.
So, like, just a game
Like,
that
I don't
comes
wanna-
out that
I don't-
first
I
year?
don't wanna get-
somewhere within that first year?
I don't want to get Knack 3.
I was just gonna say, what about Knack 3?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds terrible. Then I'd feel like I lost.
All right, we'll think
me
it
and
out.
you,
We'll
we'll
refine
bet-
the
we'll
bet.
bet a
and, yeah,
game.
we'll refine the bet and then we'll announce it.
We'll just
some
do
later down the road.
a full price $60 game.
Okay.
What dealer's choice.
Okay.
Whatever. it is.
So let's clearly line out the parameters. That's if a PS5 or Xbox 2, whatever they are, if a next generation console from one of the two major players, I'm only talking about Microsoft and Sony. If one of
Oh, I
those
thought it
comes
was
out,
just Sony.
or you want to stick to just Sony? We can stick to just Sony.
I thought it was just Sony,
Yeah, we can
too.
stick to just Sony if you want. I'll do Sony. So by 2020, the calendar year 2020, PS5 will launch. If it hasn't, then whenever it does, or whatever it's going to be called, I owe you a game. And if it does, you owe me a game. Yeah?
That's right.
Okay.
You can just give him The Last of Us 2 that I'm going to be getting you.
Yep.
I don't know, man. October's not over yet. You never know, Ed.
That's right.
It's not happening.
Chris is gonna be racking up on bet games. He's like, I'm not gonna have to buy myself anything
I need
anymore.
to start tracking these things because I'm going to forget.
Eduardo,
Yes, sir.
what you got for us?
Well, over at the YouTube channel for Married to the Games, we've got a little more Forza Horizon 4.
Yep.
And then the first 6 parts of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You say 6 parts, it doesn't sound like much. It's about 17 hours worth of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So
Oh my gosh.
enjoy yourself over there. Looking at our top 10 YouTube videos, combining the average watch time and views for the week of October 3rd through the 9th. 10, 9, 8, and 7 are all Hugh. 6 is Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2.
Let's get him. Let's get him.
5 is Hugh. 4 is Ori. 3 is Hugh. 2 is Watch Dogs. 1 is Hugh. So congratulations, everyone. It's a shock.
There it is.
Podcast of the
Oh
year.
man.
There's Ed. There's Ed, our bitter YouTube chart strategist. Yeah, we
my
got Hugh.
gosh.
Yeah, you got Watch Dogs. Yeah, we're done. Back to you.
We get
I
it, Hugh.
know.
No one can figure you out. We get it.
You're hard.
Yeah.
You're hard.
We understand.
What's going on over at the YouTube
Yeah.
channel, Ed? It's gonna rain. Back to you.
Oh my
good.
gosh. Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Thanks, Ed.
Yes.
And last week was no different. We said it's fall, y'all. What are you watching? Turtles are chill over on Twitter.
Nice.
At Turtles are chill. They are so chill.
I love turtles, Jill.
Unless they're snapping turtles.
Oh, right. Or a Ninja Turtle.
They just let you think they're chill until
Yeah,
you get that hand close.
Or
Yeah, Ninja Turtles ain't chill at all. Eat all your pizza up.
right? Then
He said,
stab
my
you.
girlfriend and I are watching a new show that just premiered this fall, A Million Little Things. I love the concept of it and highly recommend.
I feel like I've heard that name, but I don't know anything
Yeah.
about the show.
Yeah,
I'm not watching that freaking show. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that right now.
What is it?
Is it a
That
scary
sounds
show?
like too much crying going on.
Oh, is it like
No.
a This Is Us style?
It
something
looks
that?
like one of those. It looks like one of those shows where it's like a group of friends. One of the friends kills himself, and they're trying to like live their best lives now and trying to understand why
Yeah.
homeboy killed himself, and probably got flashbacks the whole time of the guy's life. And it's like, I'm not doing that.
All right, I got you.
That sounds too depressing.
Right?
I got real kids to worry about.
yeah, that's
But
called real
it's like-
life.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm dogging the show because the show actually looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just ain't got time to be crying that much.
right?
We got Spencer Stapleton at Street Team MTTG. Brrrah. Man, he spelled that all the way out. That's crazy. I'm watching Survivor. I've never missed a season.
Wow.
Now that I'm healthier, I'm going to apply to be on the show.
Dude.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
You should.
Spencer. Where do you vote?
Right?
Where do you vote?
That would be
Where
awesome.
and it's not a question of if, it's just when is he getting on, because we will blow them up with votes for him to go. That'd be amazing.
That'd be amazing. Super listener Chad at Chad Fackler 1. New season of The Flash, Bull, all the cooking shows, and the new show with Nathan Fillion, who I still think Tim sounds like. The Rookie is what it's called, the Nathan Fillion show, The Rookie.
Yes.
But mostly podcasts while I play games. LOL.
There
I
you
know
go.
that's
There
right.
you go.
We've got terrible internet on the bus, and for some reason, Chrome likes to refresh every single time I change a tab. So going over to Discord,
Yes.
while that tries to get us life together. Good morning, guys. Mark Boucher. I always want to say good morning games for some reason, but it's probably because that's what I'm thinking about 70% of my life. Video
When
games.
you wake up.
He said, exactly. My superhero shows are back, like Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and looking forward to Titans starting this week. And of course, Doctor freaking Who.
There you go.
Nice.
Mark Boucher is big on Doctor Who. I've still not ever seen even
Me neither.
an episode or half episode or the intro.
Man.
Have you ever seen it, Ed?
Yeah, man.
He's got one like he's got a phone booth door or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. We've had our front door is a
And-
TARDIS door.
It is?
Yeah.
To your
man.
house?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yes.
Man, I haven't been invited over. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I've never been to his house and I knew that.
Have you seen it
I feel
or
like
you
he
just knew
posted it
that?
on Twitter. Yeah, he posted it on Twitter or
Yeah.
Facebook
Yeah, he
or
posted
something.
on Instagram.
Oh, man. I don't follow anybody but Jenny on Instagram.
You got to be on social.
And now that she's not been on Instagram, it's been pretty dusty.
It's been quiet.
Yeah, it's been all quiet on the Westward Front. Jared Orr, I just started watching the second season of Ozark on Netflix. It's great.
Oh, nice.
Also,
Oh, I heard that was good.
Also, the return of new South Park and Family Guy episodes always brighten up my week.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's right. All right, Lucas Ham, you getting served on this one, doggy. Just by the tone of how I read this next thing. Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, my wife got me
What?
into it, and I love it. Lucas, listen. I don't know if you're just trying to get banned or anyway. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Flash, while also catching up on my show's backlog like Big Bang Theory, Blue Bloods, oh yeah, and my newest favorite, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It is just so
Yeah,
funny
that's a good
and
one.
cool. Lucas Ham Swisher, there's no way on earth, and this is coming from a guy who dated a girl who loved Grey's Anatomy. There's no way on earth that show is still good. There's no
Dude,
way.
even
I'm going
all
on
of
record.
the people that I know that loved Grey's Anatomy, like Sarah and her sister and all, they're like, yeah, we don't watch that anymore. It got stupid. Like even the ones that were huge into it
Yes.
don't even like it anymore.
I'm not hating on you for watching it because it's
No.
Grey's Anatomy. I'm hating on you because it's probably a terrible show now.
But he's doing it with his wife, so he's being, a good husband.
But he sounds
and,
like a willing
yeah.
participant.
Yeah,
There
definitely.
It's true.
There was the ... I love it too. Anyway. Sorry,
I will
Lucas.
say last night, Gabe, I watched the pilot episode of that one show that you had mentioned, the plane show.
Manifest.
Whatever it's called. Yeah, I did watch that. And that was interesting.
And?
So I liked it. I was like, okay, I'm interested. I do get some Lost vibes from it, so that makes me
Yeah, I
a
would
little
hope so.
cautious because I'm like, look, this might go down the tubes after a season or so.
Well, you just
but,
got to hope that
know.
there's not a writing strike in the middle of it.
Yeah. So, but
Right.
I'm gonna go
That
check
would
out
help.
episode 2 and 3. And I don't know how many it's on because I just went backwards, but it was good. It was worth seeing.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Over on Facebook, I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited though. Greg Legowski, current streaming obsession for the wife and myself is Man in the High Castle. Returning
Ooh,
shows.
I hear that's good.
Yeah, that's what I hear too. Returning shows for me are going to be Supernatural, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl on CW. Gave up on Arrow years ago, but will watch crossover episodes. I have to click see more because, like I said, Simpsons and Family Guy, Doctor Who first episode of the new season was amazing. American Horror Story is always a let it record then binge show for me. Together, we watch Modern Family, Big Bang Theory, The Deuce, The Gifted, and SEAL Team. We're letting Manifest build up a few episodes, then we'll watch and see if it makes the cut.
Yeah,
And
Nice.
you know what? After listening to all of these guys, man, I need to get back to watching TV with my wife. What's hard
me
is that,
too.
number one, she likes some shows that I hate, like Keeping Up the Kardashians and stuff like that. And it's usually like my gaming time. Like she watches TV and I game. But like, I
Yep.
think for our marriage, we should watch. It'd be good if we just watch like even a show together.
Yeah, that's smart. Do one show together and then go back to playing video games.
I mean, right?
yeah.
There you go.
Matthew Shepard just finished Jack Ryan and loved it. First show I could binge in
so
quite
good.
some time. Now I'm watching The Sinner. Jury is still out after 3 episodes, but I'm fully intrigued and want to see where it goes. And this shouldn't be a spoiler, but I'm going to say it anyway. Shouldn't be a spoiler, but it could be. Travis Pospisil says The Walking Dead to see how it ends with Ricky Boy, Iron Fist 2, Daredevil 3, Flash, Arrow, and well, I'm lying because who has time for all that? This and then some is my backlog. Ha ha ha. So it's been widely reported that Andrew Lincoln is leaving The Walking Dead. And so
Yep.
people aren't knowing how they're going to end it with him on The Walking. I think we talked about it on the show as well. But I am interested. I stopped watching that show season 5, but I'm interested to see how
Yeah, I did too.
how it goes with Rick and where they take that story. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/ I didn't know where I was supposed to go. Facebook.com/ Married to the Games. Twitter.com/ MTTGcast. Best episode ever. Like Ed said, YouTube.com/ Married to the Games. MarriedToTheGames.com. Did I already say that? You can come get a shirt and some mugs and stuff like that. Now on Patreon, which, you know, why would you after hearing this episode? But Patreon.com/
I think we have to pay them now, right?
TTG. I think everybody should get a refund this month. And then Extra Life, we're dialing in the schedule for Extra Life. extra-life.org/team/MTTG. Come sign up. Here's what we're doing. And we're going to be massaging this, but this is the blanket of what we're doing. Edward is going to do 24 hours on the day. So it's the November 3rd going into the 4th. Is that right, Ed?
Yes.
So November 3rd going into the 4th, he's going to be streaming. I'm not going to be able to stream till the end of November, so I'm going to be actually streaming November 30th into December 1st is the day that I'm doing.
Nice.
Still up in the air with Chris and Ed. We're still figuring it out.
Chris and
But
Tim.
those are the days, Chris and Tim. But we do want to say, like, the day that we chose last year to have, like, everyone stream, if they can, we still would love to keep that as November 3rd, along with Ed as he goes into the 4th. You guys will have daylight savings happen again, so you'll have to do it for an extra hour. So that's fun. For those that sign up on the Married to the Games team, we are going to be giving away prizes to the top 3 highest earners, excluding obviously ourselves and our captain, Eric Thompson. So for first place, you'll get an MTTG hoodie. For second place, you'll get a Married to the Games shirt. And for third place, you'll get a Married to the Games mug. So that's for everybody that signs up for the Extra Life team and streams and raises money for the kids. And then this is what's cool about having a podcast and things like that, because we get to do things like this. So when Ed and I are streaming at our 2 individual times, for every $300 that is raised during our streams for people that donate, we will be giving away a game every $300. So at the end of our stream, we're going to total up the money, everybody who's in the pot, we're gonna, give. If we raise $900, we'll give away 3 games. If we raise $600, we'll give away 2 games. You guys know how math works. So during Ed's stream, during my stream, at the end of those streams, we'll be giving away games for every $300 raised. So come hang out with us. You guys have already seen Ed's amazing streaming going on. Mine will be duct taped together with a little Gorilla Glue. I'm going to switch it up this year. I'm going to use some Gorilla Glue and some actual duct tape, aptly named. So be on the lookout for that. Come join the team. It's all for the kids. This is all money going out to these hospitals. It's an important thing. So we will be talking about that leading up to it. And Chris McCracken.
Look, just rate us on iTunes, because who else deals with this jank and still gives you a show? Nobody.
Hey.
We do it. We do it for you.
That's right, brother.
Give us a rating.
That is right.
Don't rate
Other
show.
shows, they'd be like, hey, we're just not doing it this week. We'll catch you on the flip side. It's like, nope, we doing it.
Yeah, they'd be doing a greatest hits this week.
Yes, exactly.
Well, let's get into some questions.
All right, we're going to start with Discord. We're going to start with Nova Beyond. Would you rather have your nose grow longer after you say either doc, right, or awesome? Or would you rather your limbs get shorter every time you say those exact same words? Credit to Jeff Swan for the inspiration. All right.
Oh, my gosh. I think nose get longer.
Yeah, I already have a bigger nose, so I'll just let it keep growing. I'm fine with that.
I'll go nose, just because I say it so often. If my limbs got shorter, I'd have like 4 huge innies.
Exactly.
We wouldn't be able to do anything. I would be able to, I'd have to solely depend on my wife.
I'd rather stand tall with a big nose.
Yes, I'm with you. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to say nose only because I don't feel like mine's too big, so I could get away with a few before it's like, okay, I really need to curb these words.
Exactly.
There you go.
We'd all have to quit the podcast. Be like, I can't hang around those guys anymore. They say those words too much.
Yep.
I know, affirmative.
I know, correct? Nice.
That's awesome.
What up, physician?
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh?
I gotta move my nose, my mic away from my long nose now. Okay. JH Sweeps. With Halloween coming up, would you nix a costume for one of your kids because it came from a violent video game?
Ooh. Would you?
That's a good question.
That
It's
is a
like
good question.
I haven't thought about that.
I haven't
I
had
don't know. I
to
mean, it's kind
either.
of. It's,
I don't think
it's
I
up
would.
to interpretation, I guess.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think I like if I'm trying to think like if Remy grew up to want to be Master Chief, I think I'd still let him be Master Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Because
but
the point
that's
is that he wants to
technically
be a hero. And I guess it depends on what you think violent is. I think if I let my kid take in the media to want to be that character, then I need to deal with the repercussions of them wanting to be that character.
Yeah.
Well, like if Remy wanted to be Freddy or Jason, would you let him?
See, but here's the thing.
Let's take it a step further.
He doesn't know who that is. So I think.
Right, but if he does down the road and wants to.
But is that because I've shown him Freddy and Jason?
Right, yeah.
If I've
We're
shown him
doing
Freddy and
cart before
Jason,
horse
then I gotta be. Then I gotta let him. I mean, not have to, but like, it would be a.
Well, but
harder
but damage is done already. Like
That's what
you've
I'm
shown
saying.
it to him, he's seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. But if these kids don't know what it is, like I don't want my kid. I want my kid in a costume that they understand and recognize what it is. Like it's
Exactly.
not that just because it's something. It's not something trendy.
Yeah,
or anything
if,
like that.
If Remy
so,
at 7 years old, because we got to remember we're talking about an age where we can let or not let them. is at 7 years old came
Yeah.
to me and was like, I want to be Michael Myers from Halloween. It's like, what do you know about Mike Myers from Halloween? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'd be like, no, you're not doing
Exactly.
that. You know what I'm saying? But if I've let him watch me play, like we said, Halo, and he wants to be that guy, then, you know, he wants to be Master Chief, then I'd let him be Master Chief because I've already allowed that into his life.
Mm-hmm.
What say you guys?
Yeah.
with
No,
with no
I
children?
like that.
I would actually be okay with my kid wanting to be Freddy or Jason, but if he wanted to dress up like as one of the victims, it's like all bloody and cut up and stuff, I'd have more of a problem with that.
Yeah, true.
Be like, you need to be
Like
the
if somebody
stabber,
wanted
not
to
the
be a
stabby.
zombie.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm kind of like the same way that Gabe thinks in that, like, well, if it's something that I've shown him, I've got to be cool with, or her, you know, if I had a son or a daughter, I wouldn't be like, well, I can't show them that and let them see it and then not let them be the thing if that's what they get into. But at the same time, like once they get into, like, I feel like by the time I was in second, maybe third grade, I was already getting exposed to a lot of stuff that my parents didn't necessarily show me. So I knew what they were. So I could know who Freddy or
Yeah.
Jason are by that time, even though mom and dad haven't let me see it. So it still comes
Yeah.
down to a situation of like, well, the parents got to make the decision. And then it also constitutes like, what do you consider violence? Because like, especially this year and probably for the foreseeable future, Overwatch characters are just going to get more and more popular for Halloween costumes.
Yeah,
and that's
man.
technically a violent
Yeah.
game, even though it's cartoony in its nature. And then there's not blood and guts or anything, but it's violent. I mean, if my kid came to me and said like, I want to be Reaper, and he's going around twisting saying, die, 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 am I going to be like, eh? Or I don't know, you know? I mean,
Yeah. It's very true. It's funny,
Yeah.
like, as I've been watching, especially my boys, you know, because I started Spider-Man in the house. And so it was right away that they were kicking and punching each other. You know what I mean? And they're,
Oh, nice.
you know,
Nice.
I mean, with the quickness. And so, you know, it's like Chris is saying, you have to, you have to kind of gauge what you think violent is. You know, is violent killing or is violent, you know, pummeling, you know?
Right, right.
Yeah.
So I would say, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, if I've introduced it, you know, to Chris's point, if he went over to somebody else's house and saw Freddie and Jason, which I wouldn't appreciate those parents doing,
Yeah.
but I'd probably be like, nah, Doc, we're not doing that. Like, that's not something that we as a family have endorsed for you. So I'm not going to let you be that
Right,
because Sally down the road is a bad mom.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely that fine line.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it's just common sense, too. I mean, if the kid knows about it, that's one thing. But at the same time, why does the kid know about it at the same time? Good question, though. I appreciate that. Fluxel, asking for a friend, would you guys be up for an occasional live show for your patrons?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, we
I
just got-
think it'd be fun.
Figure it out and make sure it's not one that's 5:30 in the morning. And, you know, I think an occasional
And you're
live
on a
show
bus?
especially would be cool. I think Discord has a way to do that and make it easy.
absolutely. It's called episode 500. It might be in Nashville. And come see us.
Yeah, we've done
Nice.
3. What do you want? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
come
also
on now.
do occasional live shows. About every 100.
Yep.
That is occasional. That's right.
Century Mark, come see
That's
us.
very occasional.
That's really fun.
To be determined.
All right, move into Facebook. Gabriel Anthony Marcano, gentlemen, you just woke up with a voicemail from Carson Daly on The Voice. He is informing you that you have been chosen to audition for the show. What song are you going to sing?
Oh, jeez.
I'm turning that down.
Yeah, yes, you are.
Yeah.
You're like, Carson, I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah. Appreciate you calling, brother. Sorry I missed the phone call.
I'm gonna be like, I think I got the wrong number, or you got the wrong number that you called. But
Yeah.
Then I'll be like, all right, I'll do it, and then I'll do that what is it, the Frozen song where that girl really screwed up that one note, and I'll just recreate
yeah,
that
Let It Go.
perfectly.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, man.
I'll just
Yep.
I'll
Nice.
just do that.
New Year's Eve,
'Cause, I mean,
baby.
I'm not gonna win. I'm not gonna get chosen, so I might as well become an internet sensation. You know?
That's
Get my
true.
15
That's a good way to
minutes.
look at that.
Yeah.
Really good point. Yeah, I like that.
Edward?
Chris.
I'm going to maybe like
A A Weird Al
Getting
song?
jiggy with it, where you don't actually have to sing. So I
Nah,
do like a
nah,
Will
nah,
Smith
nah,
song.
nah, 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 nah. Getting jiggy with
That's
it.
a good.
I like
That's
that.
a good one.
exactly.
Tim,
I have no idea. That's a really good question. I do not know.
welcome to the jungle.
He would just show up with his
let's do
turntables, and be
that.
like, dooch, dooch. He's like not actually
exactly.
doing anything.
Right.
He's just spinning somebody else's song.
That's right. That's right.
It literally makes me so
Yeah, no-
nervous to even think about being on one of those shows that I couldn't even. I don't know if I could even do it as a joke.
What?
Oh, dude, you would crush
Come
it. Who are you
on.
kidding?
I'm
you
not
would
kidding about
absolutely
that.
crush it.
I'm not kidding about that. That would be You have to understand, I've worked in like a team environment for so long that thinking about being
Yeah.
up there by myself with just music playing, like I've
You're
sang.
fine.
I don't know.
You would
I've
be
sang at some
fine. Do you know
people's
how many
weddings.
people have actually done that on The Voice?
What? What do you mean?
There's been a lot of background singers that have come out on The Voice in previous seasons who just, they wanted to give it a shot because they've been behind somebody
There's
their
one out
whole
there right now, I
lives or
think.
their whole career. So, yeah. So, I mean, it happens all the time, dude. You would crush it. You would be so good.
Well, listen, I appreciate y'all. I'm just saying I'd be extremely
that's right.
nervous.
I'll sing James Brown's I Feel Good because then I can just go, ah, ah, the whole
There
time.
you go.
Really great.
Yeah, I like that.
you go.
Get up. Get up. No. Yeah. All right. I'll just do that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But
Yeah.
exactly. But I think we all agree Gabe would completely crush The Voice,
Oh,
right?
well, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Enough of the gooey stuff.
Yes.
Matthew Serta, time machine back to when you are 8 years old. What dessert novelty is waiting in the freezer for you after dinner?
Ooh.
I think it's an ice cream sandwich for me.
Yeah, I think it's just ice cream for me.
Yeah, we weren't like a very big sweets family growing up. So for me, it probably would be one of those two things: either a bowl of ice cream or an ice cream sandwich. If we had something, it usually was going to be those. Maybe like during the summer, we would have those the popsicles where it's liquid and then it freezes and you just cut off the top. Might be one of those, but we didn't have a ton of stuff growing up that I remember.
Maybe
Gabe?
one of those, like, what were they called? Like, they were like a cone. It was like an ice cream cone, but the top was covered in chocolate and peanuts.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the drumstick.
Yes.
Drumstick. That's
Yeah,
right. Those
as
are
a
good.
kid, I loved those.
Those are good.
That's nice. Yeah, those are good.
Chubby Ninja.
All right. Next question. Brian Niebel. Gamer faces. We all make them, whether it's stoic or super animated. My question to you guys is, do you have any good gamer face stories or make any great faces while you play?
Nope.
For me, I stay pretty still and make little expression until I start dying. Then I'm bouncing all over the couch if I'm super into it. Also, when my wife plays Overwatch from time to time, she gets so into it that she never blinks until she dies. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm with you, brother. I'm just sitting there watching.
Edward.
I might make a face. I didn't realize it's more the leaning, I think, than the faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I might
Your posture.
Listen,
chew some invisible gum
listen.
or make invisible kisses.
Ed has got a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
I might apparently that I found out a couple weeks ago. I might breathe heavily.
Oh man.
New mic?
Here's the thing that's weird. Here's the thing that's weird about you, Ed.
Well,
I feel like you've developed more. Like the breathing thing is new to me, but I've played games with you for a long time. I think it's new.
I think it's also it might be just an Overwatch thing because I definitely don't do that with all games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't do that on when you're on Twitch.
Yeah, I think it's just when I'm doing Overwatch.
I think you're focused more.
It just
than a
gets
lot
you
of
all-
others.
So into
Yeah,
it.
you just
Get y'all
you're
out of
just more
breath.
focused.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't make
You know what?
any-
I don't have a gamer face. Yeah.
I don't.
I will say this:
I,
like, if I die a lot, my thing is, oh, come on, or really, like those. That's
Yeah.
Like, when I die, that's what happens.
That's what I was about to say. I'm really competitive. So when I'm playing, especially by myself, and I'm dying a lot, I get really frustrated.
Yeah.
And I don't mean frustrated like I'm gonna quit the game, but frustrated like I'm mad. Like I'm mad at the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a face. I do know, like, just because the few times that I have been able to get streaming working the way that I'm trying to do it, if I watch it back, if I'm getting into an intense thing, like, I will not pay attention to anything. Like, you can tell I'm just staring just at that, and I don't know if I don't blink necessarily, but I have that, like, I have a very distinct face, and then when I die, it's like, okay, it goes back to relaxed, and now it's back to intense. So I have a very focused
The
look.
The face that I picture in my head of you, Chris, your mouth can tend to fall open.
My mouth does what?
I feel like you'll play with your mouth slightly open.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I
There you
do.
go.
I don't know. I do think I probably have at least a little bit of a mouth something. I don't know that I have Ed levels of it, but my dad has like a thing when he's focusing on something, he'll like move his tongue all around and do weird stuff. I bet I have at least a little bit of that just from, seeing it. But I don't know because I'm rarely looking at myself, so. And Stacey's never said anything.
I haven't paid that close attention.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
There you
funny
go.
though. I love that gamer faces. I love it. That's good. All right, moving on to Twitter at Street Team MTTG. Spencer Stapleton. With Halloween coming up, my question is simple: what is your least favorite Halloween candy? For me, it is Bit-O Honey. Tastes like I ate something with honey and then vomited. Yuck.
Man,
Candy
those are
corn
amazing.
and anything licorice. Candy corn and
Yeah, man.
licorice. Pure trash.
No liquor. No licorice, no good and plenty's, none of that stuff. I can't do that. Ugh.
Man, you guys are hating on all the good candies this week.
Jeez.
I'll take them all.
More candy for me.
Right.
I don't like I had an old neighbor that would give us nickels. That was my least favorite candy.
Oh, man.
Nickels?
Nickels. He'd be like, "Oh, 1 second." We'd be like, "Trick or treat." He'd be like, "Oh, give me a second." And he'd be gone for like a minute and a half and come back and give us each a nickel.
Yeah. We had a neighbor that would give us pennies and UNICEF tracks.
Oh,
Ugh. Nice.
my gosh. What the heck?
No.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
Yeah. That's funny.
I don't like those orange peanuts. I don't like those.
Oh,
Yeah,
me
I don't like those
either.
either.
The
The door stops?
are those like
Yeah.
the Peeps or something?
Kind of, I
No,
think.
it's
They're
it's
similar.
like a marshmallow.
Yeah.
But it's like a hard nougaty weirdness. I don't know. It's something odd.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, I don't like those either.
Nope. I love that question. That was a good one, Spencer. Thanks for that. All right, at Dopalicious. I've been much more in tune to my feelings after kids. So when was the last time you had a good cry and what caused it? This is us. Video of Marine dad surprising kids at school. Car topped out at 159 miles an hour.
Ooh, good cry. Lordy.
I'll go.
Yep, go ahead, Tim.
This week when we were down in Barnsley and had our Apple TV, we watched "Won't You Be My Neighbor," the story about Fred Rogers, and it
Oh,
was
nice.
very, very powerful. And he was an amazing man, and it was very touching.
Man, I feel like I just had a good cry. I cannot remember what it was about. Ed, you got one?
I was thinking the exact same thing, Gabe. I feel like it was just like within the last few weeks. No, because
Yeah.
and I don't have any idea
When we didn't get the payload,
I didn't get the payload.
Exactly. Yeah. You weren't moving with the payload.
No.
Chris, you have one while we're thinking about it?
What it was?
So I don't. When you use the term "good cry," I feel like that's like where you just really let it out and you get it out and you feel good afterwards. Like I don't ever do that, or I rarely do that. But almost not every day, but maybe every other day or every couple days, I'm seeing some video on Facebook or watching something or that's sentimental, and I will definitely get the choked up, and then I gotta fight it back. And I can't. I gotta make sure I'm alone, kind of thing. But I never
got
just
some work
like
to do.
let it down and just let it go and like I can't remember the last time that happened. But I'm always getting like I'm way
Verklempt.
more sentimental these days than I was before, like when in my younger days.
Oh, gosh. Ed, did you think of yours?
You know what? I couldn't think of what it was, but I actually, when I was talking about Telltale on the stream, I found myself starting to get choked up, and it surprised me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man, that's a lot of memories right there.
Yeah. It is.
Oh yeah, you know what? I remember I even said on our spoiler cast thing, like I got choked up at one point in Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And you can hear, if you go back and watch my Let's Play, you can hear it in the voice. If you're like, is he? Yeah, I was.
Oh,
That's awesome.
I watched a compilation video of golden buzzers on America's Got Talent.
Yeah, man, those are good.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
Those
did it.
are good.
That's what did it. Some of those
Yep.
get me when people look genuinely surprised and it doesn't seem put on by
Yep.
the producers.
Yeah.
And they're just shocked that they got the golden buzzer and they fall to the ground and they cover
Yeah,
their
man.
mouth and their family runs
It
out.
seems like
I can't
every
handle
other
that.
day one of those is on Facebook. Yeah, and I'm the same way. I'm like, oh my gosh, here's that deaf girl that won again.
Exactly.
Oh,
right.
I cannot handle that. I can't do it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Good question.
Good stuff. All right. Final question at Turtles Are Chill. I'll follow the theme of Halloween. What is your favorite scary video game?
Oh, that's hilarious. That was going to be the question of the week.
Oh my gosh.
Dang it.
Happens. It always happens. Go ahead.
There you go.
Louder.
Dead Space for me.
Yep. Ed,
Layers of Fear.
Chris.
Until Dawn.
Oh,
Nice.
that's a good one. Doggone it, Chris. I might have
It's
to
one
change
of the
mine.
few that I've played all the way through. So
I might have to change mine to Rush of Blood. That reminded me.
oh yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
Mine has got to be tied with The Last of Us. I'm just kidding. But I did play that demo and I was like,
I mean, it's
crap,
kinda.
I'm going to be scared in this
creepy.
game. I really enjoyed, even though we didn't make it all the way through, playing Resident Evil 7 with my guys on the bus.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just that, like, I enjoyed that way more than I enjoyed streaming. What was that one game I streamed that everybody was like, Gabe's got to play it? And I was like,
PT?
reviews on iTunes and I'll play this game.
Oh no, the
Oh.
shoot. What was
Yeah,
that
what was it?
called? The one where you're in the mental institution.
Yes.
You're like
Oh,
a reporter,
Outlast.
and all you have is a camera.
Outlast.
There you go.
Like I played
Outlast,
an
that's
hour
right.
and a half or whatever of that game and did not enjoy it at all. It was just too stressful. But I'll
You know,
say
I only played. Oh, sorry, I was gonna say I only played the demo, but that demo for Resident Evil 7 in VR, that was pretty.
yeah, it was
crazy.
creepy.
Ooh, right.
I made it through that. That's all I was doing though.
Yeah. So I would say that, and I mean that's got to be tied with Resident Evil 1 is probably my favorite scary game of all time. Like, it was just
Nice.
Yeah.
It's just the right time of my life. I was with all my friends in Colorado. I was like staying out in Longmont at the time, and we had so much fun playing that game. All cuddled up on the couch. There's like 4 or 5 of us. We're like, get the herbs,
That's
get the
awesome.
herbs, get the herbs. Anyway,
That's awesome.
yeah, thank you guys for the questions.
Yeah, good question, everybody. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And right back at you. It is the Halloween season before we get to
Yeah, it is.
Thanksgiving and Christmas. What is your favorite scary game? Maybe tell us a nice memory that goes with it. And we will talk about it next week. Thank you guys for sticking with us through it. I meant to not talk too much on this podcast because I know it sounds crazy with me being in the back lounge, but I just can't help
You did
myself.
great.
The only time I didn't
No,
talk
it's
is when I
fine,
got
dude.
disconnected.
Yeah, man. Not talking much is
got
my
this.
job.
That's true.
I know.
Oh, sweet Ed.
I know, Eduardo.
He
Well,
doesn't talk much because he has a podcast face, and he's constantly doing that.
That's right.
There you go.
We just don't get to see it.
exactly.
We don't get to see it. He's practicing it while he's on.
Well, guess what?
What?
I'm Gabe Patillo.
Hey.
That
Nice.
is Tim Router.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
That is Ed Placencia.
Yay.
And guess what?
What?
That's Chris McCracken.
What
Get
Chris is
out.
here?
And
Shut
we
up.
are, guess what? Married
Three
to
amigos.
the games and no. And we are up out this thing. Plus there's 4 of us. Peace!
See? Told you. Oh, yes.
Oh, he just
Yes.
There he goes.
Oh,
See, y'all making fun of me like, let's get rolling, and here we go. Here we go.
Nope.
Yep.
As soon as that happens, he ends up in somewhere middle of nowhere, Alabama, where they have no cell. He has like half a bar of service right now.
And all this will stay in the show. Or be after credits.
Sure, as it should be.
Yeah.
Oh yes, y'all.
Well, there we are, you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, y'all. Fill your own in. You know, everybody always wants to say, we should be able to call in and we can... Well, this is your chance. Say,
Yep.
oh,
Listen.
yes, y'all.
Yes, yep. Everybody say, oh, yes, and also with you, oh, yes, y'all. Oh,
Yes.
God, that's funny. Man, everything was fine. Like, he came in crystal clear, and then he's in, like, Florala or something, and that's it. Now he has one bar. Not even.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should stop
Well, there-
recording.
No, keep it going. This is gold.
This is
Well, I mean,
gold.
I
Good editing.
Great radio. Great radio.
I guess the next question would be, depending on whether he comes back, is like, how long do we wait before we just roll without him?
I know, right?
I mean, I say we just keep going now. I mean, we might
Okay.
as well, because we probably marked right when we were supposed to.
Yeah.
And then, yep. And then, so we can do our weeks, and then hopefully he'll come back in time for his week.
All right. Well, heck, I'll go first because I don't have much to talk about.
Sweet, let's go, man.
Stacy's not here.
Oh,
So
nice.
she's been gone
Oh.
about a week.
Where is she?
Hello?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay, so I got a call from Gabe. I'm on the phone with Gabe, other guys.
Oh.
So I'm assuming he's going to call you all. So
So I should
That's
go get my
amazing.
phone?
Probably, Ed. That would be good. This is all gold, by
This
the
is
way.
already off the rails, you guys.
Yeah,
This is
off the rails.
This is your first time listening to the podcast. It's like this
Yep.
every week.
That's right. It's just a little different this week. I mean, we're still talking games and life and games, but
Yeah.
So for the other two that I was speaking to, everything was beautiful. Gabe called me on the phone. I answered it from my computer because that's a 2018 technology.
That's
However,
what you do.
what I realized is that when... Yeah. No, go ahead. Yes.
this is amazing.
This is
Sorry, I'm back to talking to Gabe now.
Yeah, no, we got you. We got
this
you.
is the week that Chris got schizophrenia, and
We'll just stay rolling until we know if this is working and we need to stop.
There we go. Hey, all right.
All right.
All right, Ed, you should be getting a phone call from Router here in a second.
Oh, beautiful. All right, good. We're rocking and rolling.